properly sizing and practicing with size, being inspired. Of course, here on Discord channel, this is where all of our members are hanging out. Links are down here in the description down below. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe so that you get to see more videos just like this one. So let's talk about size. The specifics here tonight, I'm going to teach you a 10x. What is the 10x? What do you want to do with your size? Now, a lot of people think I should probably be practicing exactly the way I want to go live. That sounds very inspirational. If it makes sense, it's probably losing you dollars. And this is one of those that loses you money. You're not going to want to trade your normal size. I get a lot of people who come in here and they're like, okay, I'm going to start with the absolute minimum because Vinny has said I need to trade absolute minimum 5 contracts, and I'm only going to trade the minis with the $500 per contract margins that I've got over there with NinjaTrader or whatever broker that you're using a discount broker, which is great. So your minimums, usually it's going to be about $500 per contract, maybe $1,000 if you're using. I think with the absolute minimum, then 5 contracts times $500 per contract is going to equal your $2,500. So a lot of people are going to go in here and they're going to go, okay, let me set my account to $2,500 and I'm going to practice working with just those contracts. This is a mistake. You do not want to do this. Okay. Now, if you know that you're going to start out with $2,500 because you know you're one of those minimalist people, there's not a lot of people that I actually know that are minimalist people. In fact, particularly with traders, we are not the norm. We are not the people who are going to be, oh, I'm just going to tiptoe around. I'm not going to take any risk. Listen, our whole life and our whole business is about taking risk. This is the minimum. I tell you guys, I do not recommend starting with $2,500. What is our recommended size? Pop quiz time. Those of you guys who have been around with us for a while, what is my recommended minimum account size? If you said $8,000, congratulations, you get yourself a gold star. $8,000 is the recommended minimum for me using our brokers, using NinjaTrader brokerage, where you're going to get that $500 per contract margin. This allows you some leeway, gives you some freedom, and it's going to give you some space to breathe. Allows you to trade up to 16 contracts. If you get an all-in position or an all-in opportunity because you come in on, I don't know, an earnings report day on a Thursday where you've got lots of earnings, it's coming in, you get that end of day move, you get the audio box popping, you get that perfect play off of a shark back plus an HMD entry, maybe a headshot, boom. You want to load up on that trade, go all the way, and 16 contracts is going to push you really far, could double your account in just a few moments of time if you get the right opportunity to do so. Even though you might be normally going to be trading on your trades from 1, 2, 3, your 5 trades, as you start pushing through these, maybe you're thinking it'll be trading small, but all of a sudden you get that big one coming in at 4. Again, you want to load the boat. I teach you guys these things as you're going through our course. You're not going to be just trying to size. This is a big deal. Sizing is very important. This is big in, let's talk about poker. A lot of people think that trading is like gambling. Well, there are some similarities. I don't think that trading specifically the way that we trade it is gambling, but we are definitely risking in order to make a reward. This is what business is. Every business owner knows they are risking themselves to go out there and they believe that they can provide their families or whatever their goals are by putting up risk, their own capital, right? That's what we are doing. We are buying and selling contracts, widgets, whatever that thing is. As a business person, you are buying and selling something. We are buying and selling contracts. Okay, so sizing. What are we going to do with the sizing? If you understand that our minimums are 8,000, what is the absolute ideal? Well, I think it's the 10x. Coming to that 10x rule, what is 10x times 2,500? Well, that puts you at the $25,000 mark. Now, why do I talk about 25K? If you are a person who has 25K free capital to start your trading business, this is the absolute ideal. This is not the minimal ideal. This is not the minimum recommended. This is the ideal. Why do I say that this is the ideal? Particularly here with futures contracts. I'm talking about futures because with stocks, this is actually bad. In fact, the PDT rule, anybody who knows what the PDT rule is, okay, this is a pattern day trade rule with stocks. This applies to stocks only. What year this was put in, I believe it was either 2008 or 2011. I forget. Somebody hit me up with the historians. You guys put down in the comments. Let me know what year the PDT rule was put in to supposedly protect traders, which ultimately ends up just lining the pockets of the big guys as usual and not allowing people with small accounts to have opportunities to put small risk on the table and push it. They've got to have this minimum 25K. If you take that PDT rule 25K over into the future side of the market, you get really nice leverage over here where you can trade. This allows you to trade up to 50 contracts. Now, I'm not saying you're going to drop 50 contracts on your first trade or anything like that, but you want to have the opportunity when there's that moment to go all in, and you know when they are. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna have that opportunity where the BPM is on point. You've got the BPM between 45 and 75, and all that stuff that I just said earlier lines up. You want to go all in. You want to push it, right? Again, I'm a 40 contracts max. That's for me. I feel comfortable at 40 contracts in general. Now, have I pushed 50? Sure. Have I pushed 80? Yeah, I've done 80. I've done 100 contract plays before, and I still think that, you know, that's very, very risky. But when you're pushing a $25,000, $30,000 day, at that point, it pays off, right? If you have the opportunity, customers coming through your door, service them. All right, now on your practice, how should we practice with our trading? If you know that you're gonna start out with that 2,500, you should be thinking 10x, okay? This is the 10x rule. Go 10 times what you're gonna trade with. 10x, I want you to practice with 10 times the size that you are going to trade with. I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, there are some things about being inspired by. Inspiration. Inspiration can do a lot of things for you. How many times have you been motivated by something? Some conversation, some, I don't know, online video. You just, oh wow, I just got so motivated by that video. I can't wait to go. This helps you. While you're practicing, it is good to get those big numbers so that you see what's possible. See what people who are playing with a larger account size are playing and play with it in practice. Now you might say, well, you know, you're not practicing real, then you're not praying. That's the whole point. What we want to do is practice big, because I will tell you this right here. It is not easy to scale up. People get nervous about going up, but if you've already played big and you've seen big numbers going in front of your eyes, and we're talking about things where rather than seeing, you know, 2 zeros behind a number, okay? So like, you know, 200, 300, 400, oh, you know, these are easy numbers, you got that. But you want to start seeing thousands. Add an extra zero to this thing. That's the 10x, right? Anything times 10, what does that do? You're adding a zero, right? So we're popping that extra zero. If you're used to and you're comfortable with $200, boom, let's see 2,000. Now, of course, that can go red. You want to see the red side too, but what you want to see is that even as those numbers go red on one side, that with our system, that if you're trading properly, that you can come out of those holes back into the other side. In fact, later tonight, I'm going to be doing a review of our members' results. I'm going to put that over in the Vinny side of the video. So right now you're watching the ALGOBOX trading YouTube channel. You're going to want to go over to the Vinny E-mini channel here later tonight. I'm going to go through the results from our room and things, and you're going to see some people's P&Ls. And I'm going to show you how, again, they're showing that risk and showing as they're going into red, how you can come back from that if you're trading appropriately with our system, where you're increasing your size from trades 1 through 5, increasing as you go up, right? You're kind of going up the valley like this. You want to start to getting bigger towards the end. That way you make up for any losers that happen over here on the left. So over here, boom, you get that bigger winner. Remember, this is our key here tonight. Practice with size. This goes in your notes right here. Just write it down. Big, bold letters. Practice with size. Now, I'm recommending 10x. You can go bigger than that. Doesn't matter to me. As long as it's more than 10x, I want you to see some size. Add a zero to what you're doing. I want you, this also eliminates fear. We had a big topic here today in our room, you know, one of our members talking about, you know, the fear factor. I have an entire playlist. If you guys want to go check out that playlist called Overcoming Fear, lots of good tips on that. Practice does everything for you. Getting your trust in the system. Confidence overcomes fear. Okay, if you don't have confidence, you will fear. But fear comes from, well, number one, not knowing what you're doing. Okay, this is what Warren Buffett infamously said. He said risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Same thing with fear. Okay, not knowing what you're doing. What do I do? What do I do? That causes fear. Knowing what you're doing will cause you to be confident in your trades. Be confident in your trading system. Let your tools do the work. Let the statistics play out for yourself. Let your edge play out, which is what you're going to have inside of ALGOBOX. So with that fear factor, how do we overcome that? Trade with size so that you see what's possible. 25K instead of 2,500. Add those zeros, right? I beat that dead horse now. So let's talk about how and why that's going to work for you. All right, so we're going to talk about a baseball analogy. So anybody who's played baseball knows if you are about to step up to the plate, this is my terrible baseball bat here, but you wrap your hands around that bat, your coach will put a donut around the end of your bat down here. You'll put a heavy weight, maybe sometimes you'll swing 2. You put 2 of those on the end of your bat and you start swinging, and now it's a very heavy bat. You're like, oh, you're swinging that bat and you're trying to time it. You're usually right in the middle of a game and you're off on the side box in the batter's box, and you are waiting for your turn to come up to the plate, and you're trying to time the pitches. The pitcher's pitching and the ball's coming across the plate. You're trying to swing that heavy bat. What happens, it's a psychological thing, but it's also in your muscles. As soon as you come up to the plate and you drop these donuts, Control Z, boom, now this baseball bat feels light as a feather. Now this thing is just floating through the air. You've just got that strength to be able to push. You can push a big bat, right? So now you can push a small bat. Now this is what we're talking about with scaling down. Much easier to scale down. So you've been playing with big numbers. You got that extra donut, that extra zero into your plays because you're doing 10x what you're normally trading with. Now when you scale down, you've been seeing thousands. You punched $10,000 days, $20,000 days over there. So when you're just trying to go over and maybe you're trying to, to beat out an Apex trader funding or a Lilo or a Tick. Actually, we're going to talk about Tick on Friday on another great trader funding program there. Tick has another like advantage in its rule set over there other than its scaling item, which it's okay. We'll be able to fix that because I actually like the scaling because they're scaling in from small contracts to large, which is, what do? We scale from small to big in our live trading. So I do think that Tick has now outpaced Apex if you're not interested in a trade copier. However, you can still use the trade copier from Apex and go over there and use that inside of Tick if you want. There's a lot of that we're going to talk about on Friday, so don't miss out on that one. But light as a feather. So you come over here and now saying 200, 300, knocking 1,000, maybe knocking 1,000, 5,000 off of your trades is going to feel like nothing. Let that soak in. Do you understand what I'm telling you here? Play it big, and then when you go small, you'll be ready. I know it's counterintuitive to what you've been thinking, right? I know you're gonna have to fight your instincts right now to be like, but Vinny, I need to practice small because I'm a little guy. Listen, I've said this before in other videos, and I'm gonna reiterate it to you. Practice where you want to be, not where you are. All right, there it is. Practice where you want to be, not where you are. You want to be, you want to be, you know, the ICT kid living over there in a trailer park like ICT's kids, or do you want to live in the big house? Do you want to make 6 figures a year? Do you want to make 7 figures a year? Do you want to have the nice things? Then practice where you want to be, not where you are. Go big, go home. This is how we want to practice. Now, again, when you go and you scale down, it will be easy. I assure you, trust me on it. Practice it. In fact, practice both. Practice big and then go over there and practice small and see how much easier it is. It's weird. All those mental things that you're like, oh, because you get scared when all of a sudden the numbers get big, you will have started to see the numbers so big already that it's no longer scary. It will eliminate that fear. But write these things down. Practice where you want to be, not where you are. All right, so let's do a quick review. If you've watched the old videos, this should be a review to you. But again, I know some people are new with us. Futures. What is up with futures? We have leverage with futures. You do not need a PDT rule. So what are the recommended minimums, the sizes, etc.? So remember, I want you to, at a minimum, have 5 contracts. Why? Because you need to be able to do 5 sizes. With 5 contracts, can you do 1 contract? Yes. 2, yes. 3, yes. 4, yes. 5. So that means that you have 5 options, which means that if you want to go all in on a trade and your max is 5 contracts, great. You're all in then at 5 contracts. If you get the perfect play set up on trade number 2, even, hopefully not on number 1. I don't like going all in on trade 1. Even if I feel like I got an absolute perfect trade on trade 1, I'm going half size. I'm not going to try to go all in. So I'm going to go max at 3 on a trade 1. But on a trade 2, I might go all in on an absolute minimum account size. Now, mind you, what am I talking about minimums? The only reason I even talk about this minimums, folks, I do not like to talk about minimums. I am not a minimalist person. I do not think that minimums, like nobody goes out there and goes, what's the slowest computer I can get? Hey, it's the absolute slowest computer I can possibly get. No, we talk about buying hardware here all the time. You want to get the best. Put the same thing into your business. Stop trying to be the worst business on the, hey, how can I be the worst business on the block? Can I just be like the really get it by, I just really want to get by business, okay? Listen, take this seriously. Be a business person. Do you want your business to be the best? Yes. So stop trying to think minimums, okay? I really like you to just eliminate this thought from doing the minimums anyhow, but I'm going to tell you what they are so you know, but I hope that you're going to be trying to do more than that. Again, your funding programs, I am going around to them, especially because there are some that don't have all those crazy rules like top step. Top step is an absolute no. They should be called bottom step. 5 contracts, absolute minimum. And have I proven that it's possible? Yes. That was a small account challenge that we did last summer. That was, you know, going against Ross Cameron. He said, let's go start it out with 2,500. Fine, great. We go 2,500. 5 contracts, 5 sizes. That is with the $500 per contract margin that we talked about earlier. Remember, that is going to be with a discount broker. Talk about the advantage of a discount broker real quick over a TD Ameritrade or an Interactive Brokers or E-Trade. Those guys will charge you upwards of literally $13,000 minimum on the low side. $13,000 for a single mini contract, upwards of $24,000 for 1 contract. That sink in for just one moment. It means with that ideal $25,000 account, you could only trade 1 contract on TD Ameritrade. Stupid to trade with retail brokers. This is like if you were going to go to business and you were like, I'm going to go buy Tom Thumb, okay, retailer, then I'm going to go resell. You're going to start up, I don't know, Vinny's grocery shop. I was going to buy expensive and then sell a more expensive. That's stupid, right? Nobody does that. You go buy from the warehouse. As a business owner, you are intelligent enough to, I'm going to go buy from the cheapest place. I'm going to go buy the small thing. I'm going to add the value to it. And hit nudge, nudge, think about that. Are adding the value to the product. You in your your choice selection of your entry, your exit. You are adding value. You buy it at a discount, which is why you go to a discount broker. Don't come over here talking about, well, Vinny, can I trade it with my TD Ameritrade? No. Vinny, can I trade it with my interactive brokers? No. Can I trade it with my E-Trade? No. The answer is no. A real broker. You are going into business. We do business here, folks. If you are still trying to fart around, go over there and play with ICT. You can blow your money that way. I'm not interested. You come here, play. We play like winners. We play like business people. All right. If I beat that dead horse, fantastic. One contract to TD Ameritrade for $25K. That's insane. We can trade 50 contracts, our brokers. That is called leverage. That is what you want. All right. So you've got your discount broker set up. Absolute minimum 5 sizes. That way we've got our trade sizes 1 through 5. Got our 5 trade paper right here. Here's how we track our trades 1 through 5. You should already know this if you've been in our program for a while. If you're not, if you're brand new to us, one of these printed out. These are your coins. I use Trump coins. It's beautiful gold Trump coin there. So every trade I take, there we go. There's trade 1. There's trade 2. There's trade 3. There's trade 4. And there is trade 5. And of course, we've got our bonus trade. So got my extra sitting right over here for the final on the bonus trade on a 5 trade day, right? Down here, trades 1 through 5, 5 sizes, and we're looking to increase our trade size from trades 1 through 5. Paper that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about paper demo money, I'm talking about this trade paper, the trade tracker for over there that you got your 5 trades on. 500 is going to allow you to do that if you are trading anything but NASDAQ. This is why I said before, if you absolutely are asking me for the minimum, but you want to trade NASDAQ, which again, NASDAQ is absolute favorite. Why? One moves the fastest. This is like asking me, do you want to make $5 an hour or do you want to make $50 an hour? Okay, your time is money. NASDAQ is going to give it to you quicker. That's all. Okay, it's a fast instrument. People are like, oh, that scares me. Listen, you're not going to be scared when you get good at what you're doing. Okay, like I said, Warren Buffett will tell you right now, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Once you know what you're doing, you want to lever up. That's how you get rich, folks. That's how you do it. You're not going to do it by playing pussyfoot. All right, so we've done talking about the minimums. Asking me for minimum recommended. There it is, 8K. Then you don't have to deal with wondering about whether it's NASDAQ, whether it's trading, the ES or the RTY or Dow. K is going to allow you also $3,000 of space. Gives you a 3K cushion where you also don't have to go and say that on day 1 you lose money, or on the first couple trades you lose money. Now you don't have that size. If you lose on your first few trades, again, when you're trading with a $2,500 account, you also have to do the trade hack. What's the trade hack? It means you have to go watch my video on cadence. Okay, go look up Vinny Mini cadence so that you can go, okay, let me let 1, 2, or 3 losers go by in sim and then go live so that you can work those stats in your favor even farther when you have this small of account, because you cannot afford to lose when you're at this absolute bare minimum 2,500, right? Because you lose that day, what do you have to do? You have to go redeposit. It's like, well, I lost $500 today, Vinny. I'm gonna keep going with 2,000. No, like you're not going to do well. Don't do that to yourself. So again, this is where the 8K comes from. Give yourself that 3K cushion. Should be review for you, but hopefully it's helping to drive it home. Or if you're doing it the right way, hopefully that's also encouraging you as well. And then of course, our 25K ideal. This allows you to trade the full contract size, my size. If you want to go all the way, you want to trade just like I do when I get to the end of that small account challenge where I've got the size that I'm normally going to be playing with, to trade up to 50 contracts. So is the PDT rule on crack, right? You take the PDT rule. If you are in stocks, this is the minimum. You are at a disadvantage. You come over here to futures and trading futures. Now you have an advantage because of the leverage that we've got there. Gives you the cushion and gives you what you need for the big pushing when you get to go all in on those big trades, and we get them here with ALGOBOX. So that's helpful there for you tonight. Remember the 10x tip home, and you are going to thank me later. I'll catch you in the next one. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis, G, and the rest of the gang, let's send out that big H-Town to ya.